thanks for joining us. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Seattle Mariners. All right, just about ready for baseball. And on the hill today, Logan Gilbert. What do you have on him?
Yeah, he battled through 7 innings last time out. He pitched well enough to get the win thanks to that offense. He'll look to turn in another quality start in this one.
Ground ball up the middle. Handles, throws to first. One up, one down.
Fastball groove right down the middle. Usually a lot of damage done with that pitch. A hard grounder, but he wanted to get that ball in the air, maybe drive it into the gap.
Game 1 of the World Series. And at the plate for the Dodgers, number 21. Gilbert back to work. And a curve misses outside. Chris, you and I have gotten to work some memorable postseason games together. One I look back on, 2013 ALCS Game 2, the David Ortiz Grand Slam.
For me, Boo, the game I remember is us calling the 2014 AL wildcard game. The Kansas City Royals hosted the Oakland A's. The Royals come from behind to win in extra innings and move on to the division series. They had such a great run that it ended up in the World Series losing to the San Francisco Giants.
Got him swinging. And he's registered 3 Ks in this one.
Well, that's always the key to effective pitching is getting ahead in the count. And as a pitcher, it really allows you to start expanding the zone. Hitters become defensive, and all of a sudden that plate starts to get really wide. And what happens is, because of the pressure, you end up committing to a pitch as a batter before you recognize what it is, and that's what leads to the strikeout.
Number 21 in the box here lets that one go for a ball. Runner at second, 2 down. Here in Game 1 of the World Series. Swings and hits one in the air out towards right field. Brings it in, and that is that. Base is empty with 2 away. And stepping in for the Mariners, Luke Raley. And a ball and 2 strikes. Smoked on the ground a second. On to O'Hearn. And that is the inning. Mariners go down quietly there, and it remains a 4-3 game. No outs. Runners at first and third. Bounding ball here, rolls foul.
You know, these Dodgers, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. They have 5 extra base hits on the stat sheet so far, and that tells me they're seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well.
Fought off foul.
With all those extra base hits, it's easy to think we're going to see that trend continue the rest of the game. They seem to be really locked in at the plate.
0-2 now. Base hit and a run in to score.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. You'll often hear the phrase, short to it, long through it, and that's a great example of it right there. Got the barrel in the hitting zone early, squared it up with the well-timed swing, and came away with a beautiful line drive into center field.
First and second, no outs. James Outman steps to the plate for the Dodgers. In the air to left, down the line. And he makes the catch. Runner tags at second. And he's in there as he tests the arm in left. One away on the flyout.
Now, we'll see if moving up to third there pays off for him. He didn't have to tag and go, but now he can score a lot of different ways. Doesn't have to be a base hit. We'll see what happens.
0-1. Squirts away a little bit. Nothing happening as the count evens at 1. Double play ball to second. Slinging it to first in time. So, runner at second, 2 down. Ryan O'Hearn comes up to hit. Offense exploding for 5 so far in the inning here in Game 1 of the World Series. Center field. Rodriguez settles under it. And that is that. But 9 batters hit in the inning. 5 come around to score. 2, 3, 4 due up in the home. We're at the top of the 8th. Now it's the second baseman, number 21. You talk about the power and the speed together.
Well, we knew he was going to be a stud just coming up, making his way through the minor leagues, and quickly at this level, an impact player.
And first offering is fouled off. Munoz, an all-star a season ago. He features a slider, a four-seamer, and he works in a sinker. And a foul ball. Swing and a miss. Blew the express right by his bat for strike 3.
Oh, you got to be pretty quick with the bat speed these days. So many guys throwing in the upper 90s, and you see the velocity on that one, just tough to catch up to. I mean, guys are coming in, and they're going max effort. They're not looking to go a long distance. They want to get as many strikeouts as they possibly can.
Sends it to first, and that is that. 3 runs on 3 hits, including the home run. No errors, and nobody left on. We're on to the 9th in Game 1. Here's the second baseman.
Struck out on just 3 pitches last time.
And first offering is fouled off. Man at second. And that is out of play. That's a strikeout. Woody Keller says he won a round. Number 21 had a pretty poor showing in this game despite the win. Had 1 hit against 3 strikeouts in this one.
Well, I don't want to pile on a player when he's down, but that was a lousy game at the dish. Sure, they got the win, but if he performs like that, it doesn't make it easy.
13-8 is your final. For Chris Singleton and our entire... Welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. Just about set to go now. And towing the slab, George Kirby.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
And it hops over the wall for an automatic double.
Well, this one started with a bad jump, a bad read off of the bat. He ends up having to try to leap out of desperation, can't come down with it, and it turned into extra bases.
So, runner at second, 2 down. And at the plate for the Dodgers, James Outman. One and 2. In the dirt, but kept close. Runner at second, 2 down. Here in Game 2 of the World Series. Makes the play, and that's out number 3. So, Game 2 of the World Series. And now it's Julio Rodriguez. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls in the outfield, it is beautiful. To the right side. Slings to first. Rodriguez out of the play. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point. Kirby back to work. And there's a foul ball. Legends really are cemented in the postseason. You think of David Ortiz heroics for the Red Sox, Derek Jeter as Mr. November, or Randy Johnson in the 2001 World Series, just to name a few. Swings and misses. It's a strikeout. That's the first slider we've seen today, and it was almost unfair.
Well, take a look at the three-pitch sequence here. Pretty simple in terms of putting them away at the plate. Once you're ahead 0-2 as a pitcher, you can really expand the zone and see how aggressive that.
To short, could be two. There's one. Got him. The double play cuts down the potential tying run.
They made it look easy, but it started with a nice feed to the second baseman from the shortstop. Perfect turn, and they're out of this jam.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Wood now at the plate. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Here in the late stages of Game 2. On the ground right side, and that chance handled. Sends it to first. One gone to the bottom of the 8th. And now it's the switch-hitting second baseman. 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
The last thing he wants is to hit the ball on the ground, but I wouldn't expect many pitches up in the zone. They'll be pitching for a double play in this spot.
Next pitch is outside.
Lots of anxious fans in the ballpark right now. You can feel it.
Squirts away a little bit. No advance. Good job behind the dish. Outside. And that's ball 3.
Back-to-back breaking pitches away, you get the feeling as a hitter that the pitcher's afraid of you, that he doesn't want to challenge you. So I think the confidence level is raised right here.
Got him swinging. It's a strikeout. Just 1 out remaining for the Dodgers.
It's a good breaking ball there, just off the corner where you can't really do much damage, but it's close enough to where you've got to protect, and he just couldn't find a way to fight it off.
Number 21 had a poor showing, needed to do more.
This wasn't his finest hour, Boog, and he may be a little frustrated heading back to the clubhouse. Hard for them to get a win when he performs like this.
welcome you to Los Angeles. The World Series on MLB The Show coming up, so just about set now. And today's starting pitcher, Roki Sasaki.
Four-pitch guy, he's got some options to work with in terms of keeping hitters off balance. So we'll see how he decides to utilize those weapons through this start here and whether or not he's able to mix them all in early or if he wants to hold something back a little bit later, maybe second, third time through the order and give them something they haven't seen. It's tough when you know a guy's got that in his back pocket. As a hitter, you really have to stay on your toes.
Number 21 now at the plate as he swings through strike one.
Wow, that's not even close to the zone.
Comes up empty.
This guy's got such a good sinker. As a hitter, you've got to look up in the zone. If you look down, you're going to be chasing stuff in the dirt.
Just misses with that one.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone.
Oh, this one high and deep. Way back there. And brings it in at the wall.
And he hammered that to straightaway center field. It's a deep part of the ballpark. Tell you what, that wind is blowing straight in. Got to be a big man if you're going to go through the wind of that part of the park. It just knocked that ball down.
Swing and a high fly ball in the air left field. 2 away. One out, base is empty. Slider right there.
Wow, no fair right there. I mean, that slider didn't move to the very last moment. Incredibly difficult to pick that up. Just gotta have to tip your cap on that pitch.
In the postseason, you see just how important every last play can be. You never know what's going to make the difference in the end. That misses. 1-2 to count.
Like you said, Boog, every play is so pivotal at this point of the year. As a player, you've got to be locked in. Can't make a mistake that could cost your team the season.
And that's where the swing. It's a strikeout. We go to the top of the 7th. Here's Josh Naylor. Right side. And that chance handled. Gets it to first. And they get the leadoff hitter in the 7th. Here's the second baseman. 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a strikeout. And there's a foul ball. And it's 1-1. Runner at second, 2 down. Here in the late stages of Game 3. Line drive. And that's the inning. So no runs here on a base hit, no errors, and 1 left. 8th inning. And now it's Josh Naylor with the tying run at the plate here in Game 3 of the World Series. On the ground. And that one handled. Tosses to first. They limit the damage here. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors.
Game 3s are very critical when you have a series tied at 1-1 because you put yourself up. Anytime you go down, you're always chasing. When you're up in the series, you feel like you're in the driver's seat. Nice win today.
So almost ready to get underway. And on the hill for the Dodgers, Blake Snell. What do you got on him, Chris?
We know he's one of the best in the game, doesn't make many mistakes, and if he's in a pinch, he'll make up a pitch and throw something that you've never seen before.
Swing and a ground ball. Sends it to first, and a quick out, number one. Let's talk about great individual postseasons. One that really sticks out to me is Ricky Anderson in 1989. He hit .441 with 3 homers and 11 stolen bases, leading Oakland to a World Series championship. Woo, back to work. And there's a foul ball. Swing and a hard hit liner up the middle of the base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
I'm sure he feels really good about that one. Other than ripping one into the gap or blasting one over the wall, there aren't a whole lot of hits that are more satisfying than a nice line drive in the center field, so that definitely felt good. And now, let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the bases.
And at the plate for the Dodgers, James Outman. A swing and a soft liner. Takes it in for the out.
That's a big first out of the inning. He showed off his skills catching the line drive, but most importantly, he kept the runner out of scoring position. Things would look a little different if he didn't make that play.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get.
Feel that they weren't overzealous there. Just take the sure out, keep the runner out of scoring position.
Here's Josh Naylor. Runners at first and second with 1 gone here in Game 4 of the World Series. Ground ball could be 2. To second, but way too late. Safe there. Runner at first with no outs here. They've got a potent lineup, and when you think about teams capable of rallying from this kind of deficit, they're right at the top of the list. And first offering is fouled off.
You know, these Dodgers just aren't putting great swings on the baseball in this one. They're trying to find ways to drive the ball with some authority, but it's just not happening for them so far. 0 extra base hits in the game, so it's been tough for them to get anything going.
To Crawford for 1. And up next for Los Angeles, James Outman. Swing and a ball popped up. Garcia makes the grab, 2 down. Sal Frelick digs in now. 2 outs. Swing and a ground ball base hit right field. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out. Ryan O'Hearn comes up to hit. Ground ball right side. Garcia tosses to first. An acrobatic play to end the inning. Dodgers strand a couple. Man at first, 1 away. Base hit center field. Just kind of sliced that one into center. James Outman now at the plate. On the ground left side, 6, 4, 3, but he beats it. Good hustle, and the inning continues. And we're back. New inning getting started. Now it's the right fielder, Victor Robles. On on the ground. And that chance handled. Slings to first, and the leadoff hitter set down to open the seventh. And now it's the switch-hitting second baseman. Foul ball. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Late here in game 4. Now this is in the air down the line. Robles on the move towards foul ground. Couldn't get to it before it dropped foul. And there's a ball.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
Crawford throws across the diamond. One gone to the bottom of the 8th. So bases all loaded up. Now it's the second baseman. The switch hitter batting right. And first offering is fouled off. Two outs. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. The Dodgers down to their final strike. Got him! And that's the ball game.
Well, you can tell these players feel great and also relieved to even up the series. There's so much on the line. You've worked so hard to get here. I wouldn't be surprised if we...
Welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. The world's almost ready to get underway. Today's starting pitcher, Shohei Ohtani. What do you have on him, Chris?
Boogie pitched into the 7th, earned the W in his last start. He really needed that one. Well, his team needs another one today. We'll see if he can carry that performance into this game.
So 2 down. Now here is Julio Rodriguez. And he hits a ground ball right side. On to O'Hearn. 3rd out. We're midway in inning number 1. Here's the second baseman. And first offering is fouled off. Ground ball right side, it squirts through. Joey gets on base and keeps it going. And up next for Los Angeles, James Outman. Tied up here in the early going. In the dirt, he's going for second. Go to second, out there, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We head on down to the top of the 3rd. Gotta love the intensity of postseason baseball. Players on both sides at such a high level of emotion. Everything is amplified. Next offering is in for a strike.
Talk about that intensity, Boo. It comes out of everybody. Think about celebrations by players like Carlos Correa, Jose Bautista, Kirk Gibson. Just iconic moments.
Nobody on, nobody out with a run in here in Game 5 of the World Series. And he couldn't hold back. He's run up on strikes. James Wood up next for the Mariners. Righty delivers. Swing and a ground ball. And that chance handled. Tosses to first. 2 down.
Oh, I think the key, if he can get through one more inning, anything after that, a hitter or two is bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line.
Lifted in the air, right center field. Rodriguez sizes this one up, and there's 2 down.
Oh, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football. All this team needs is one more win. But when you're playing in the postseason, it's not just a win of a game. It's a win of an inning. It's a win of an at-bat. It's a win of a pitch count. And that's what they're going to need to do.
All right, just about set to go. And on the hill, the big righty, George Kirby.
He's got that splitter, and it's a pitch that swings and misses, come fast, and they come often. Very difficult to pick up out of his hand.
Number 21 in the box now. No balls and a strike.
0-1.
And a foul ball. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Muncy gets his lead at first with nobody out. Ball one low.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
Backs and misses. It's a strikeout.
Stood absolutely no chance on that slider right there. And I don't mean to laugh, but that's a tough one. Pretty much a perfect strikeout pitch. It looks like a fastball middle in. Kind of has cutter action, and it just bunches you up to where you can't get your hands through and the barrel to it. And not much you can do unless you recognize the spin early and you spit on it.
2 outs, base is empty. Now a bullet to second base, but he's got it to end the inning. Dodgers go down quietly, and this game is still tied at 2-2. It's the 6th game of this World Series. Now it's the second baseman, Luis Garcia. On the ground, and that chance handled. Over to first, 1 up, 1 down.
Good sinker low in the zone right there and produced exactly what he was looking for. Ball on the ground, nice ground out.
Nobody out, runner at first. Swing and a miss. There's that changeup.
You're above, 1 strike.
Swing and a fly ball in the air out towards right center field. Robles puts it away for the out. And there's one away. Here's Josh Naylor. Two outs. On the ground, right side. Handles, throws to first. Out number 3. One left for Seattle, and it's still 8-2. Here's the second baseman. 0 for 3 in this one. You talk about the power and the speed together.
Well, we knew he was going to be a stud just coming up, making his way through the minor leagues, and quickly at this level, an impact player. You know, these Dodgers, digging into their numbers, have to be happy with the swings they're taking. Everything seems to be clicking, and the 6 extra base hits in the game kind of tells you everything you need to know. They're not getting fooled up there at all.
Sends it to first. First out in the top of the 8th. So 2 down, and now it's the switch hitting second baseman. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. Going back on this one. Pulls it in on the warning track. They put 2 on the board on 3 hits, including the home run.
Congratulations to the World Series champions. Incredibly special team. So proud of these players. I know the fans back in their hometown. Everybody going nuts right now. It's going to be such an amazing reception when they return home.
Welcome back on the show as we see some of the final moments and reactions in this World Series clinching game. And now let's go down on the field where they're set to present the Commissioner's Trophy to the World Series champs. For Chris Singleton and our outstanding crew, I'm John Shambi. This has been the World Series on MLB The Show.